What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Theta Podcast, maybe New Zealand's number one podcast here in, actually not New Zealand, we're actually here in Utah and Vineyard. But we're excited to be here. We're doing a little bit of traveling, and we're out here interviewing other guests around the world, so we're excited. Before we get into it right now, just letting you guys know we are on all social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and we're also on Instagram and TikTok. So if you haven't already, go ahead, check that link down below. And go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment down what you guys think about the podcast. We love you guys' comments. We love you guys' feedback, and we love what you guys say. On top of that, our podcast episodes are also on all streaming platforms. So we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and also on Google Podcasts. So wherever you can find your podcast, go ahead, tune in, listen in, and hopefully everything we share, everything we really share, we believe that can help you hopefully reach your dreams and goals, and whatever you can take from it can add more value to your life, and that's what we believe. But before we get into it, now, let's get our red carpet warm welcome ready to our superstar langi.tuifua with us. What's up, brother? How's it going, bro?
What's up? It's good to be here, man. Thank you again. This is my second time on the Authentic Podcast. Man. I love being here. I love your podcast, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Guys, if you guys haven't already checked out his episode before, we actually had one of the early episodes. I think it was probably episode maybe 8, 7.
Probably around there.
Yeah. So now this is actually episode 46. So we're actually up a couple episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's good because that interview was actually online and over Zoom, but now we actually have Langi in the flesh.
Yes, sir.
We have him in person.
Grateful to be here.
Now you can see why he's an actor. As you can see his views on both sides. So.
Just a little.
Hey, okay, keep the shirt on, bro. Nah, bro, but it's good to have you here, bro. I think it's been a minute since we've last caught up. But yeah, bro, just go ahead. Just tell what you've been up to lately. How's the acting been? What you've been up to? Yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah. What have I been up to? So I've just been acting these last 3 years. Just recently graduated from BYU with a BFA in acting, and ever since then I've had it's only been like a year since then, but I've had a few big roles, so pretty excited about those, and just been acting, helping friends with their films, trying to make Polynesians heard, our voices heard, and just trying to make good art. That's what I've been up to so far.
That's super cool, bro. Yeah. That's super cool. I think it's super cool, especially we actually mentioned it a little bit before, but you being someone like getting our people more out there in like the artsy type of avenues, not mainly different avenues than the normal sports, and sports, and what else? Obviously business, a couple of business owners as well. But a lot of us, we tend to shy away from our art side, which is, if you think about it, like, you probably know a lot of people. I know a few people, like, we have a pretty artistic background,
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, when you look at like Polynesian culture, like, we are pretty dang like artistic in everything that we do. From singing to dancing to just sharing stories. We definitely have like a head up in that game, but a lot of us refuse to try those avenues because I think we're just not educated about those types of things, and we just don't necessarily have the resources to pursue those types of things.
I think going off that as well, appreciate what you said. We 100% have so much ability, and there is a bit of lack of education and also a lack of awareness as well. I think when it comes to different talents that we have, going back, I think even like every time I think about talent, like a couple podcasts ago, I spoke a little bit about how talented our people really are, and because we've had so much blessings in terms of, you know, like music, you know, even music, you know, music, cooking, food. Oh, see, everyone knows someone that can cook.
Yes, sir.
But honestly, I think it's. Have you seen? I don't know. In the last couple of years, there has been like a kind of, I want to say adjustments, but have you noticed like a bit more people trying to be more, I guess, express their artistic ways in the last couple of years or so?
Yeah. Ever since like I've been like open about my acting, like I've noticed like a lot of people like kind of reaching out and like it's like, hey, I'm trying to get into this.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think we should start? And like my advice is always just like, oh yeah, take an acting class, do a play, just keep acting, finding ways to act. But definitely, I've seen a lot of people trying it out and trying to make it happen. I definitely think that there's been some inspirations lately with Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's definitely a big inspiration to a lot of Polynesians. Yeah, just like a lot of the Polynesian actors, especially now, like Jason Momoa, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Uli Latukefu, like those actors are all like going in there and making things happen. And I'm sure Polynesians across the world are seeing these guys on the screen. They're like, hey, yo, what? Like that?
Yeah.
Like this guy's me, you know? So, and that's definitely what happened with me. You know, it was like, oh shoot, like I could probably be up there on that screen. So it's definitely, I think it takes people just like reaching their hand down and just like, hey, you can do this too.
Yeah.
Let me bring you up with me and stuff. So
that's super cool, bro. Like, how's it make, like, it probably feels pretty good though, like actually people reaching out to you, you know, trying to, because obviously I think for those of you who haven't really listened to our first episode, you know, your transition from your football injury towards your dream, you know, right now, obviously wasn't an easy one, you know, so it must be pretty cool, like still having like people like touching the hearts of people to still, I guess, go for it, because like what you said, you know, like I would say a lot of people, especially growing in a Polynesian household, like everyone's first thing is not to be an actor or, you know, or I'm gonna be a professional artist or something, or I'm gonna make music. Like for most households, it's probably been sports, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Sports are like the number one in like a lot of Polynesian households. I know when I retired, I kept what I was doing a secret, like when I was acting, because I found out that I wanted to act, and I was like taking classes and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like my parents are not gonna like what I'm doing. So I was just like keeping it a secret, and then once like I got my first paid job, then I could say like, hey,
cool.
I was like, hey, I'm doing this, like I'm acting, and I'm getting paid. You don't need to worry. Like you don't need to worry about it. Like, and then that's when I was like started being really open about it.
Was there did you feel like you're gonna get that response, like Polynesian response, like, hey, I want to be an actor type of thing?
Yeah, I definitely, because I ended up telling my mom first, and my mom's white, but I feel like anyone you tell, like any parent is gonna have that like that parental response of like, it's like, okay, that's not gonna make a lot of money, you're not gonna be able to do the things that you want to do, you gotta go like a different route. And so I was like, I told my mom, because I was like, okay, she's not gonna like beat the crap out of me or anything, but she's like, yeah, she told me that, and I was just like, hey, I'm doing this. It's like I'm not going another way. Like I want to do this. So yeah, Polynesians definitely have that response though.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I feel like for most part, because Polynesian, the mentality, you know, that we all have, especially it's big, especially in New Zealand, you know, just sitting in the normal set paid, high paying jobs, you know. If you go to school, like Are you gonna be a lawyer? Are you gonna be a doctor? Are you gonna be an accountant? So like those main avenues of income, or are you gonna study business? Like, I think that's kind of been just on the forefront of most Polynesian Pacifico families' minds when going to school.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like sometimes that generation doesn't see the next big picture.
Yeah.
Like for example, acting, probably producing music, or maybe creating art and design, graphic design, stuff like something like, and maybe it can either come a lack of education, or maybe it can become of just not being aware. But for the most part, like I think broadening our household and our family's understandings of there's a lot of money to actually be made in the world.
Yeah.
And if you really look around and get comfortable, get creative, like, because we're creative people,
Definitely.
like there's so much more like our people can really do.
Yeah.
If we really put our mind and our mindset towards it,
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd like to add to that. The fact that we have like Polynesians becoming doctors and lawyers and stuff like that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I think that's great, and I feel like the next step for the people is how we are portrayed in media.
That's super cool.
Yeah, because when they see someone on the screen,
Yeah,
that's like them, is like they're gonna want to be like them. And if it's portrayed in a bad way, like how someone who doesn't even know how Polynesian stories are told, they're gonna be, following this guy who's had this story written by someone who doesn't even understand Polynesian stories. So I feel like that's kind of like my duty to the Polynesian people, is to have these roles and these stories be told, to let everyone know that like, hey, we are modern people. We go through different stories around all the world, no matter what size, what income status, but these stories are being told through the diversity of all the Polynesian people.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
I really love how you specifically touched on stories, right? Especially stories of our people.
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing more than I guess nothing more that hits home than talking about stories from our people, especially how they inspire us to do so much, because most of our stories are stories from hardworking families, backbone stories, just stories that all talk about hard work, character, just everything that talks about, that connects us with our heritage. And for some reason, which has been a big thing lately in our community as well, especially in New Zealand, that lack of understanding our stories and our culture and our history creates us a lack of understanding who we are.
Yeah.
And achieving our goals and dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense, right?
Yeah, because the way our stories, our history is passed down is through stories. And this is the next step, is through film and media, is to make sure these stories are passed down in a meaningful way. So, yeah, man.
No, bro, that's so true. I was talking to one of my other podcasts that I had a couple podcasts ago. One of my mates, Lucky, he talked about a lot about heritage and stories and the importance of really what those stories really mean to our people. Like we really do see some families going through different things, like whatever trouble it may be, or even people struggling to find out what they want to do in life, right? What they want to accomplish, their dreams, their goals. And a lot of it comes from the stories that we tell to our families, and or from our generations, or from our history. And he did mention like how important it is to, the more we understand our culture and our stories and our identity, the more we find, the easier it is to find ourselves, and the easier it is to know what we want to do or where we want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gives so much peace, bro, because I do feel like a lot of us sometimes, like, a lot of us do tend to just think about our only way out is sports,
Mm-hmm.
or our only way out is to do the best that we can and try and make it in football or whatever we excel at, basketball, stuff like that. But if you really dig down deep, like in the stories that we have, it's been stories of hard work, and support and courage and faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those ingredients, bro, what they really do, they really help us to define and achieve honestly anything we can. But in some along the way, I think us as a generation can kind of, or previous generations to come, have kind of, lost sight of, of that a little bit.
Yeah.
We can kind of see with the society that's going on right now. So
yeah. Definitely, it's like hard work is definitely has always been a part of all of our lives, because a lot of Polynesians, my dad included, have come from one of the islands. My dad came from Tonga, and he just made it happen. He came out here, made it happen, had 3 kids, and now we're all doing great things. My brother's becoming a doctor soon. My sister's a nurse, and I'm the black sheep. I'm an actor, but we have all taken these hardworking attributes from our ancestors, from my father, and are making it happen in the world. And a lot of what I'd say is hard to understand is just like not knowing where to start, like knowledge, like not having the knowledge to break into a certain industry. Like, my brother worked so hard to become a doctor, and my sister is working hard as heck right now to become a nurse. And it takes hard work, and I hope that all of us can be the knowledge that other Polynesians need to get into those fields if they need us. So definitely knowledge, because I know sports are something that every Polynesian knows, because that's just something that they were gifted with, is to just be dang good at sports and just go ball out. But the knowledge of other crafts and other studies are what we're missing. So
I like that, and I think that's the goal. That's the goal too, bro. Is like, hopefully that people, especially like your family, go into those industries and stuff, and their hard work, especially your dad coming from Tonga, to be able to, instill, those attributes within you guys. Hopefully that reaches out to other people, inspires other people. Because honestly, bro, like every time I see a Pacific Islander, like in corporate, or somewhere doing in law, or a doctor, bro, I'm like, bro,
yeah,
that's my guy, bro.
Yes, sir, dude. It's so like just satisfying, and makes me grateful to see like Polynesians in like these industries and stuff, and just like making stuff happen, and passing on that knowledge to like the next generation, so we can continue to thrive.
Yeah, bro. And that's the thing, bro. It's just helping them understand the fact that they do have the tools. They do have, I know, like, maybe sometimes we may feel entitled or play victim at some point of our lives, especially like we may not understand circumstances wherever people are from, especially within our own communities. But I do know that, like, there's no excuse, Like, if you really want it that bad, like, there's really no excuse. Like, there's a way for everything. And not to say it to be like, to be blunt, but I think I was watching this podcast, and 50 Cent was on it, and he was just talking about how he's talked about how there's no point. Oh, actually, he said, what did he say? Sorry, I don't want to paraphrase what he said, but he did talk about, like, him in the podcast growing up, like, there was no time for us to worry about what was going around the streets and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like he just mentioned about how like you have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
If you have to pay the bills, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
Like that's the mindset, that's the drive. Like if you need something done, you have to go do it. And that's and not with us. Like our people are so talented, bro. Like honestly, and like we mentioned before, we're blessed with so many gifts, you know. And if we just understand the fact that we have to push ourselves to get off and to go do what things that we need to do, you know.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like we'll see a lot of our own people, you know, in places where they can become where they want to become.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I was pretty lucky to gain the knowledge of acting and kind of like the industry because I went to BYU on a scholarship to play football and got injured, but I still had the scholarship and could basically do whatever I wanted to do with it. And I decided on acting. So I had pretty much every like resource at my fingertips over there at BYU, and I just learned as much as I could from whoever I could to try and get much out of like the education that I was getting. And I definitely am one that was lucky. I know that if I didn't have the resources that I had through my scholarship and stuff, that I probably wouldn't be able to be doing acting. I'd probably be doing another field to make money and to make myself survive and stuff. But some people are blessed, like me. I'm very blessed, and you know, I look forward to paying it forward to whoever needs and stuff. So,
if there was another career you could decide other than acting, what would it be?
I would have wanted to make video games. Yeah. Yeah, I originally went to BYU
so
to do computer science, and so I could make video games and stuff. And the reason I wanted to switch was because I was just like kind of like playing. I was playing football at the time, and I was like too busy for it all. And I just like saw like voice act. I would like look up like these production notes of what they have on like creating the behind the scenes of creating video games. And like a lot of the times I would like skip to the section where they had like the voice actors in the booth and stuff. And so I was just like, oh man, that's freaking dope, dude. I was like, so I tried to see if I could find anything like that at BYU, and that's kind of like the avenue that I went down. So yeah, I wanted to make video games before I wanted to be an actor. So
cool.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Lang is actually really good at playing games. So
I'm actually a professional.
Bro, that's another one too, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of polys who play games.
Yeah.
And they're actually pretty good.
Dude, there's a lot of Polynesians that, they're really good. I know a couple of boys from BYU, and they like stream and stuff, and I always see their clips, and I'm like, God, you guys are so good. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
I wish I was this good.
But then you ask them, bro, why don't you stream? Like, nah.
It's like, oh, I'm just
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, there's so much room for growth, bro.
Yeah.
Like, in any industry, like gaming as well. Like, I think, I honestly think there's so much money to be made in the world, and there's so much different avenues, and if not, there's more opportunities than ever to make money and to do the things that you want to do in this life.
Yeah,
you know. So like, if you really want it, you gotta go get it. So
yes, sir. All in that hard work.
That's right. Hard work. That's right. If you just look at Langi, that's exactly what it is. So
no. Oh man.
Yeah, bro. Let's see. Moving on to, we're gonna try some things that are some deep questions we want to ask you.
Sure.
Today as our guest, you know. So,
is this really deep or just a little tip your toe in the water?
Maybe a foot.
Okay.
No, because I think one of my mates, I was talking to one of my mates about the podcast, and even though got a lot of positive response, I guess because you actually already answered most of our questions before in our podcast, so this is like a good little second episode, you know, reflect and review type of thing. But I wanted to just I guess, ask some good questions to someone that's inspiring, especially in the community, that is able to, hopefully these questions can reflect towards others as well, and maybe answer some other people, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, some of their responses, questions that they may be having in their life as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just a couple questions. So it wasn't, not too deep. So
Yeah.
maybe a little toe, maybe a pinky toe.
Sounds good. I could do that.
Okay, first question is, what makes someone a good person?
What makes someone a good person? Shoot. I'd say just someone who wants the best for people and wants the best for themselves. It doesn't necessarily, because all types of people are going to have different personalities and stuff, and I think just someone who understands other people, who's empathetic. I think those are the good people in the world.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. How do you hope others describe you?
Hopefully a decent person. I don't know. Just someone who works hard and just tries to make things happen, and hopefully that I help other people. I hope people describe me as that, is helping and loving.
I like that. That's super cool.
Yeah.
What do people assume about you that you wish was actually true?
Dang. That I was good at video games. No, I don't think people assume too much stuff about me.
That's good. See,
Yeah.
good guy.
I'm alright.
Okay. What is one thing you'd be doing right now, or what is something that you would do if you had no fear of being judged?
If you're being judged. Frick. I'm already doing what I do with no fear of being judged. I'm acting, man. I used to have that fear of being judged before I was open about it, but now I'm just doing it and throwing myself out there. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and judge me if you want. I don't care.
All right.
But yeah, that's me.
How do you live life without regrets?
I think say yes to almost everything. Everything within your moral boundaries. Say yes. If your friends want to hang out, say yes. If your family wants to hang out, you say yes. People want to work with you, say yes within decent boundaries and stuff. Just take everything that comes at you and just make the most of those opportunities. So
I like it.
Yeah.
One last question: what makes you feel appreciated?
Oh, what makes me feel appreciated? Just listening. If people genuinely listen to me, I will feel appreciated. A lot of people don't feel like they're listened to in this world, and I think that's the first step to anyone being appreciated, is making sure they're heard and that they are cared about.
Super cool. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was just a little pinky toe.
Little pinky toe.
Dip in there.
Actually, I think we do have one authentic podcast question we didn't ask you before that we added along the way. But what would you say is, I want to say community, but maybe I'll say, should I say Utah? I don't know. I'll ask you because you're from Utah, right? So.
Yeah, I'm from Utah.
Okay, so what would you say is Utah's greatest strength and greatest weakness?
Oh, yeah. Well, their greatest strength, for me or just for Utah as a whole?
As a whole.
As a whole?
And then we can do you if you want.
Well, I think Utah is just a great place to live. They got pretty much everything here. They've got lakes to swim in. They've got mountains to hike. They got two great social areas, Provo and Salt Lake. You can go hang out with a lot of my friends. They all live over in those areas, and yeah, it's just got everything great. And I'd say its biggest weakness is Provo girls. But yeah, I think its biggest weakness is just it being really cold.
Yeah.
But like I love the seasons, but like sometimes the winter just goes on a little too long. That and Provo girls.
And Provo girls.
Yeah.
Sorry, Provo girls.
Yeah.
That's Utah's biggest weakness.
Yeah.
Hey, cool, bro. Appreciate you, Langi.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you too.
Thanks for being here on the show. Thanks for your wise words and your wisdom and advice. Appreciate your example that you show, especially out to here, like helping people, just being, just helping them understand, and knowing that they can be understood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially in this new industry, or even with them trying new things. You know, I think that's super important. Like, I think it's so important to try new things. I think it's important to just push out and reach out your boundaries, you know. And I'm a big believer in that, because without that, I wouldn't be making podcasts, you know, meeting new people, and yeah, doing this right now. Like, I honestly wholeheartedly believe, like, going out of your comfort zone is the only way to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only way to reach your goals. Like, to get things that you've never had, you're gonna have to do things you've never done. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
and that's I don't know, and that's the things that we have to look up to, is trying to make sure that we understand to do the utmost that we can do to be able to shoot for the stars. You know.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to say, bro, before we close up our episode today?
Chase your dreams, guys. You only get one life. Chase your dreams, whatever it may be. If you want to make money, make money. If you want to make films, make films. If you want to be on Brandon's podcast one day, be on Brandon's podcast one day. So, yeah, just trace your dreams, whatever it may be.
Like it, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Guys, we'll make sure we'll put Langi's info at the bottom of the description below, so go ahead and you can follow him on social media and stuff like that. As well as, yeah, check out a new episode coming out this week. Be following our social media for new content. That content will start coming out a bit more weekly now, so we're back in rolling with Authentic Podcast for the year. And yeah, so don't forget to, you know, share with friends, and let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. We love to hear your feedback. Yeah, and have a good week. Utah, what's up? We'll keep up with you guys, but until then, stay fam, stay Authentic fam. We'll see you later.
Catch y'all latest.